All right. We on.
All right. We
Uh,
in here, huh?
what's going on, everyone? My name is J Boy. I'm a New Illuminati, formerly New Illuminati podcast. Appreciate y'all. Say you asked me to come back on.
Bad. This is Ace Boogie from the Radioactive Podcast. Checking in, man. I'm ready to talk about it.
Yeah.
All right, man. Hey, man, y'all know what it is, man. It's your boy T1.
Well, it's your boy D, aka Mr. Live at 5 himself. And man, today is gonna be some trouble because it's an all-male panel and we about to talk.
Talk some shit.
Yeah. So first off, man, how's everybody week been going? Flowing so far?
Good.
Good. Real good.
Yeah,
That's
man. Good.
Anything
Been busy,
Ace,
man.
man. Before we get in, I got a bone to pick with you, man. You did an interview at Ball Hogs. I was supposed to do that, man. I saw it. I said, "Dang, he got it." Because I met him when he was building it, and he was telling me it was his pop's old spot and stuff. And I was like, "Well, man, when you kick it off, man, I'm gonna come back up here and chop it up with you." And then I was scrolling on Facebook and I seen you. I said, "Dang, that he be on it. I'm gonna have to just go when I get that chance."
Yes, indeed. Hey, he got a great story, man. Definitely.
Did you get to try any other food?
Man, I go there and eat all the time. To be honest with you, I love they banana pudding, man. That banana pudding.
Oh man, I'm gonna have to go up there now. I definitely got to go up there, man. But for those tuning in, man, appreciate it. Do us a favor, man. If y'all can, just show us a little bit of love, man. Just go ahead and share, man. That's really what we asking, man. Y'all share, and of course, drop some comments if y'all want us to talk about anything in particular, man. Go ahead and drop it in. Of course, we're gonna discuss it because we're here for y'all at the end of the day. So don't hesitate to throw a subject out there, and we can get on it. Other than that, we just gonna be on here just chopping it up. So first order of business, man, is another one, man. RP.
Black Rob.
It's like every podcast we get on, man, we saying RP to somebody.
For real, shit. It's back-to-back weeks.
Yeah.
Right. That's crazy, man. Do they know
And
any?
this one wasn't Corona, huh?
He's been sick for a while. I mean, according to like when he was in the hospital earlier in the week, he had posted a video or whatever saying that he had nowhere to go. He was homeless. He's been sick. I mean, he's like it's been known that he's got like heart issues and stuff like that. So he's been sick for a while. But I mean, you really got to think about it. Like everybody glorifies, and I'm not gonna bash Diddy. Diddy's a great person, but that bad boy curse, man.
Hey.
I was just about to say that. It's like it seemed like me and my wife was sitting there talking about it too. It seems like everybody from Bad Boy, it seems like Diddy uses up his talent and then just throws them by the wayside.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, quite frankly, the only people that was ever really under that Bad Boy banner for any length of time outside of the Locks, because they had that
they came into Bad Boy already somebody though.
Right.
Wasn't Rough Riders was with them, right?
Yeah, like they were
a little bit, but they eventually branched over to Def Jam with Jay-Z.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So it seems like everybody that outside of the Locks, it seems like everybody that has some sort of musical business dealing with Diddy, it just like the life just got sucked out of him. You feel what I'm saying? Craig Mack,
right?
Shine, Loon.
And shit, you see what Diddy did to Shine?
Yeah,
man, that was fine.
He got to take the gunshot and be kicked out the U.S. Like, I mean,
right? He's Cuban, right?
Yeah, not Cuban.
Dominican.
Yeah, I think I want to say
Islander. I know he's like.
I want to say he's Dominican. Yeah.
Okay, that's crazy. Well, man, RP Black Rob, man. Another one gone, man. Hopefully next week we ain't got to say no RPs, man. That's That's a lot, and it's RIP to our people. It ain't like general statement. It's it's people that we listen to,
Grew up.
for a while. That's crazy. But so AC man, I got a question for you. I seen you and socially irresponsible going back and forth. Was that like y'all just messing with each other, or y'all? Because it seemed kind of serious, man.
All right, so check me out. That right there was supposed to be an April Fool's joke that we kind of forgot to tell everybody it was April Fool's joke. So it carried.
I was like, they going hard.
That's how that went down.
Okay, so
you know what I feel? No lie, I'm gonna tell you what I feel. I felt that just gave us an opportunity to say things about each other that we really wanted to say.
Right. Because y'all was talking, I'm like,
I ain't like your mama.
Somebody was like, is they playing? I'm like, I can't even tell. I can't even tell. It was like, oh, you think? Oh, because you buying your views. That's why. I'm like,
I was like, oh,
y'all was going in like that.
Yeah, man. It was
man,
a lengthy. Was that the same? Okay, so was that the same post you made that we had hit you up about?
Say that again.
Was that the same post that we hit you up about? You remember we was asking, about about the rappers?
No, that was something totally different. Yeah. No. That had nothing to do with that.
Okay, and then
we need to unite and come together.
Yeah. So we had seen that, and for those who don't know, he had made a post just pretty much saying, podcasters is acting like rappers not wanting to work with each other, and a lot of people what happened was he tagged us, and we was kind of like, I was lost. I'm like why he tagged us? We just got started, and we like, well, is he calling us out? X, Y, and Z. So we just went ahead and hit him up, and he actually, explained, it wasn't that. But then I seen on the post further down as it continued, a lot of people actually start networking, and you said that was the purpose of it, right?
Yep, that was the purpose, man. That was the purpose, man. I wanted everybody to get to know who was podcasting, who, you know what I mean? Because your homeboy might be podcasting, you didn't even know.
Right, that's true.
So,
it's a good conversation starter. It's a good conversation starter. Yeah, it does bring the emphasis to the podcast world, and it does allow them to be able to be like, hey, if you didn't know I was doing this, I'm here.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
See, like when I initially read it, well, first I got the notification, and then when I initially read it, I was like, all right. And then when I seen like where our page or our
your mic
went out.
Your mic went out.
Yeah, somebody was calling me. My bad.
All right.
Calling.
Yeah, on my messenger, but they I saw a podcast tagged, and immediately I thought, well, one, who is this? Like, I don't even know, because my mind is going somewhere else.
Cold-blooded.
You know what I'm saying? Like, my mind's going somewhere else. I'm like, all right, let me hit up my people real quick, because like I'm new to the San Antonio scene when it comes to stuff like this. So I'm like, okay, let me holler at my people to see, like, hey man, who is this?
Yeah.
Before it goes
Do we gotta ride on
the direction that it don't need to go in? And I'm like, it was like, nah. So when it got explained, I'm like, okay, yeah, it makes sense now. That makes total sense.
Man, you had us lost. We was lost. We like
high alert.
I was like, man, I've been on his podcast before. What's going on? Like, but when like a lot of things get taken out of context when you type it. Yeah. So we don't know the tone it was used. Yeah. We don't know how you emphasize certain words. So it's always better just because me and you actually had a voice, conversation. So yeah, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I get what you're saying. So I mean, that was good. And then people start networking. So ultimately, what you planned and what you did it for actually worked out.
Man, I felt like Nipsey Hussle, man. I was like, oh shit. Bringing the people together.
So how long have you been doing it? The podcast?
So this is going on 3 years now. Going on
Ooh.
3 years, man. And it's been good to me, man. It's like slowly but surely. It was a slow pace at first, you know what I mean? But I ain't gonna lie, that Omar Gooden interview put me, you know what? I ain't gonna say the Omar Gooden. When I first did the Plastic Cup Boys, I think that was setting me off. When I did that interview with the Plastic Cup Boys, and then the Omar Gooden interview, that just boosted me up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
but I used to see you always at the comedy shows and getting like drops from certain people. So I was like you was actually out there networking, like, in the mix, so people see that you actually going to these events. So I think that kind of helps too.
Yes, indeed, man. Yes, indeed, man.
So
I got lucky.
what as far as what do you plan on like taking your podcast? Like you plan on like being like with the Joe Buddens and stuff? Like
to be honest, I want to be more of the lines of Joe Rogan. You know what I mean?
Joe Rogan got a bomb podcast.
Yes, man, because
Joe Budden number one out here.
Right. But Joe Budden, he concentrates on music. Joe Rogan, he goes everywhere with it. He might have a physicist on, then he might have a rapper on, then he have a plumber on. You know what I mean? Like,
everybody.
Yeah, so that's the route I'm trying to take right there.
That's not a bad route. And see me, when I first started when I was doing my Live at 5 Studios, my whole thing was, which I haven't stopped doing it. I'm just putting my energy right now into the way you asked. But my whole thing was I wanted to have like the 85 Southfield. That was my initial podcast like kickoff. Like I was like, man, I want to do that. Like have people, we up on the stage and we just talking. It ain't scripted. We ain't sitting down.
That's supposed to be how a podcast format is supposed to be. Like you at a barbershop or you in your living room with your people, and what I'm saying, just holding a conversation. Like I feel like that's the difference between the podcast scene and the actual radio scene. Like when you're on the video, you got to kind of go like kind of in a scripted manner, because the people are gonna expect you to just talk on a radio portion. They're gonna expect you to talk strictly about the artist and anything like that, not really expand what their views on other things are. They're going to want to hear about, okay, they have them on because they're doing this project and this, so they want to give advertising for that. I feel podcast has that, but podcast allows you to be free, and it allows you to just have a conversation with the people and talk about any and everything going on.
Okay. Yeah, I see that. I always thought radio was scripted anyway. I was like, the music that they played just felt like a script. It's like I wanted to do that too. I wanted to have a platform to where we playing music, and you're not gonna hear the same song 3 times in 1 hour. You know what I'm saying? And if you do, I feel like it should be a song that you really like. I shouldn't have to be forced to listen to a song. Like some songs don't even. I know it's like a business thing as far as like I think like speaking of DMX, I remember he was speaking on that. Like he was going to radio stations and asking them, like, people saying that they mess with him, but then he like, but you're not even spinning my records, So I think,
like I told y'all last week about the 2 Chainz shit, when he came here to the he did that radio interview.
Right. I remember you saying about that 2 Chainz thing. So yeah, that's good, man. J Boy, you what's your plans, I guess, with the podcasting? You plan on like, remember we were talking about it last time.
Yeah, me and my boy Wes, he if you know DJ 007, it's his dad.
Okay.
He was the person, like the man behind Vandal Records in the day. So he's very, very like knowledgeable on the, like, especially the local music scene for as many years as I have. So he and I are gonna bring back the New Illuminati podcast. So
okay, that's what's up, man. That's what's up. I and back to talking to AT about it. I never knew it was that many podcasts in San Antonio until he actually made that post. So like I was like, dang, it's a lot of people on here that's like on it. And you're like, nah, man, X, Y, and Z. And I'm like, dang. So I started following a lot more people as far as like podcasting goes. Because I mean, we can all learn from each other.
Absolutely.
So that's I think when you stop wanting to learn from other people, that's when
That's what you tell.
yeah, definitely, because somebody has something that you're not doing, and it's making them the podcast to watch. Like I think people watch Joe Budden just from his antics, because I don't think they go to him for knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Like as far as like music go, yeah, because he's been in the industry, but I don't want to hear your relationship advice. Like, what makes you think?
And the thing is, he can't like. You look at a person like Joe Budden when you think about relationship advice. How many times he been married? How many times he like all them relationships he done been in and like fucked them off and.
Right. So how do y'all feel about the Kevin Samuels dude?
I actually started listening to his podcast with Kevin. I honestly I will say I haven't given much entertainment to Kevin Samuels.
Yeah.
I know who he is, but I haven't actually tuned into any of his shows just because I'm like, are you doing this for clout?
Who is Kevin Samuel?
He
This bald-headed dude with glasses. He sit in front of a computer in a suit,
right?
Pretty much trying to like
Talking to
give
women.
people relationship advice.
Is that the millionaire?
I don't know.
It's a black dude. He's an older gentleman.
Yeah.
He was actually
last year he became popular last year because he's the one that did like that bigger girl like called into his show and said that she wanted XYZ out of a man, and he's like, well, ma'am, you're built
like a linebacker.
Yeah, he's like, you're built like a linebacker. You can't say you want that. You don't bring enough to the table to want a man like that.
Look,
he ain't talk bad to that woman like that for real.
But look, you gotta watch the whole thing.
Yeah.
So his point of view is that because I was just watching an interview he did on Joe Budden, right? I was watching it today actually. He was going into how people take clips of what he say and they just run away like, oh my God, how can he say that? But then he's like, nobody ever tells a chick and when she says, I don't want no dude that's 5'7", that's below 5'7". Nobody tell her she's wrong because that's a preference. That's her preference. But if a dude says, I don't want no chick with rolls and this is but he's body shaming.
Yeah.
You know, so he was trying to point out the three. He said, and if you listen to all the women's songs, they telling you what they want and they telling you what they don't want. You know, but he said, I mean, he made good points. What people have a problem with is his delivery. He is like rough.
His delivery is just like straight raw, which is
like this society we live in right now.
He do dudes even worse. Like he started off talking about men. Yeah. You know, he didn't pick up no steam, but he was doing it, you know, telling men, you know, well, you want this woman that's thick and you know, all this stuff, but what you look like, you know. And how much money do you make a year? But what makes you think a woman wants to be with somebody that makes this amount? You know, so then he said once he did a video about a woman, it just took off. Like most of his listeners or viewers is women now. You know, for them to not like him, that's his main audience. So it's kind of weird how that works. Like
I think it's kind of like how we said we tune into Joe Budden just for his antics. I think that's why the women do the same with him.
Yeah. Shout out to Iris for tuning in. She said he's been around and did the men too, but he got more clout with the women. Yeah. And I don't think he was chasing clout when he did it. I think he just shifted because I know people knock him for having I think 2 failed marriages or something like that. He got 2 divorces. Yeah. And people say, how can you give and this is Steve Harvey still giving marriage advice.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And nobody's knocking him for that. You know, so it's the preference. Steve Harvey, you say what?
I said nobody outside of Tony Rock.
Right. And see, we had the Derek Jackson, but he you know, he blew up. He tried to make himself seem too good of a dude, and come to find out that nigga was a regular motherfucker doing fucking up just like everybody else. You know what I'm saying?
He hit every rock on the way down. From that far from grace. He hit every rock. Boom, 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 boom.
And see, I low-key think all that was a selling point for his book because he had a book.
Yeah.
So who's to even say that whole thing, little old thing, was true? You know what I'm saying? Because the wife,
his wife did look hella uncomfortable in that video.
She did in that video. She did. I think she knew. She probably didn't know to that extent, but she probably knew. Like, I don't know, but
maybe she didn't like selling himself to have a quote unquote just to try to sell his book more. Maybe she just didn't feel like maybe she felt like he was selling himself out.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Because a true woman behind you ain't gonna want you to sell out to try to sell something. They want you to stay true to yourself. So
yeah, I mean it's different when you're giving advice, but you admitting at the same time that you flawed versus giving out advice. And it seemed like his advice was always toward women. Like he never really said, "Well, women, y'all need to do X, Y, and Z for." It was mostly like men, like y'all need to be doing this, and and I think with the Kevin Samuels thing, he's on the opposite end of the spectrum. So he's telling women ultimately what they don't want to hear.
Yeah.
And that's where men get a lot of the flack from anyway. Like as soon as we get to telling the truth about our experiences with not even the truth, our own personal and personal experiences that we've had with women. If we go out there and say anything negative about the majority based on our experience, we automatically woman bashing. We hate women. Who hurt you? Like, where's your mama? And all that different type of bullshit. But for years, decades, we in a whole new century, and the narrative is still it's all right for the narrative to still be men ain't shit.
Definitely,
nobody bats an eye like that. Don't nobody bat an eye on that.
Very true.
Nope.
We start saying like, but as soon as we say, man, nigga, y'all cheat better than we do. No, we don't.
They don't want to talk about that.
You bullshit ass lie.
They don't want to talk about. They don't have that conversation.
You don't want to have that conversation.
Nah, definitely not. And I think it's actually harder for my opinion. This is just my opinion, but I think it's harder for a woman to admit wrongdoing than a man. That's just my opinion.
Oh,
I think they have just as much pride as us.
No, for sure.
No, absolutely. Yeah,
I feel like they got more.
They might got more pride, but
I feel like they got more because I'll put it to you like this. Like, have you ever been in a argument, you know what I'm saying, with your lady, and the part you played, right? You know you're wrong. She expects you to immediately apologize for that and say what you are apologizing for. Like, what are you sorry about? Okay, cool, fair. Okay, cool, fair enough.
But they won't do the apologizing themselves.
They either won't or they'll do it, or before they do it,
they're gonna say something else.
It's a roundabout way before you get to the actual destination. Like,
okay. So the question here is, why is it so hard for women to actually say I'm sorry?
I don't know,
because they don't feel like they're. I personally feel like majority of women don't feel like they're wrong, even when they dead wrong.
Yes, absolutely.
Iris said, let me read this comment real quick.
Okay.
Iris said it's not. She said a few, so I'm gonna get her. She got like two comments. I'm gonna read them and then we can get. So she said it's not that y'all say it, it's how y'all saying it. Delivery matters. But the only thing about that, Iris, is that men and women are different. So we not gonna say the way that y'all want us to say it is not gonna. That's not technically the way we're gonna say it. This is just how we like. We don't show y'all that we love y'all the same way y'all show us. It's just a difference. So we two different species at the end of the day. We show emotion different than y'all. So I mean, Like I think see with the delivery, it goes back to the delivery, right? Like Kevin Samuels have this delivery that they don't like.
Well, because
he could be saying the truth, but just because you saying it that way, we're not gonna listen to it.
Well, we all know certain things are supposed to be said a certain way. We all know. You're not out here to hurt feelings, really.
Well,
So
I mean,
we all know they cheat better.
And she said men cheat more. I don't necessarily agree with that.
What is I need statistical evidence.
It's statistically it's more women than men on earth.
Yeah.
So who's doing more
Men
shit?
get caught more. That's what I think. Men get
Right,
caught
yeah, definitely. Definitely
yeah,
get caught more.
yeah. We get caught more for sure.
That's
The thing
what
We're not gonna sit up here and act
and
like
when you do
we just dumb.
the crazy part is when a woman gets caught, she's gonna find a way to put the blame on you instantly.
exactly.
I think a woman apologize. Their apologies is more. They would rather use a sexual act for their apology versus me telling you.
I was right about to say that.
Versus me telling you that I'm sorry and I was wrong.
Check this out. As men, we gotta hold women more accountable. We cannot let them get away with giving us head and everything's all good.
Right.
Hell to the no. Then maybe that's something that we gotta start holding women accountable. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
Sexual gestures is not an answer.
Because we gotta go all out.
Per se.
We gotta have an airplane fly across with a banner. You know, you gotta have Tevin Campbell come and say
You gotta send flowers with a box to her job. Her whole coworkers see everything.
some Tiff treats. You know.
Hey, no, for real. Would y'all be okay if your girl gave y'all flowers? If y'all girl gave y'all flowers, would y'all be okay with it?
Yeah, I'll take some flowers.
I'll take some flowers.
I'm not against flowers.
Hold on.
I'm not that too hard.
You gonna go? And
I would laugh.
Wait,
like, I would be like,
yeah, it would definitely be different. It would definitely.
Y'all gonna go get a little. Y'all gonna go get a little. Wait. Y'all gonna go get a little vase for it and everything. Every day.
Man, I got three vases in my cabinet right now.
Oh no, that thing one of the.
No, matter of fact, I'll go buy a brand new one. Just
that
lay
thing.
them on.
Okay, hold on. Wait. So if your girl gonna get you some flowers, what flowers do y'all want? D-Live, go ahead, go first.
I don't know. I don't have no particular favorite, but
now come on, D-Live.
I need something. I need something like I don't know, like a rose is too
cliche.
Yeah, it's too cliche. So I want something different, like I don't know, like an orchid or something.
Yeah, orchid or like some Irish shit.
Yeah. Step your game up.
Okay.
Mix it in too. I want it to be colorful.
You want the whole bouquet, like some carnations, some iris, some orchids, the whole shebang.
Right. And why don't that happen? Like why don't is that seen? We made it not masculine. Like as far as like buying flowers go, like a woman buying her husband or boyfriend, sending him flowers to work is that like seen as not masculine? So that's why they don't do it, or they just don't do it because it's not. We're not making it a priority in a relationship.
Yes, we need to make that up. We want chocolates too.
Right.
And Tiff treats is good.
My wife knows.
I don't know if y'all ever had Tiff treats, but them things is good.
Yeah.
And those what's those the fruit thing, the basket, they make into a flower
arrangements.
Oh,
arrangements or something.
Yeah, I need all of that.
I mess around and I buy it for her and mess around, be nibbling on it.
For real. Right. You know how many times I done got my wife edible arrangements and was like,
I
don't want to crack this box open, but these ain't for me.
The moment she opens it, though, it's game over for it. I'm on that bitch.
So
okay, wait a minute. Iris just said, y'all not gonna mansplain our apologies. Okay, explain the apology then.
Right.
You flying the flag tonight. Explain it.
Go ahead. Explain it and I'm gonna post
it. And we're gonna see by us reading it, we're gonna see if it's a roundabout way to get to the apology.
Oh, makes sense.
We gotta be we want those apologies like y'all expect from us. So Mayzella said, I saw a podcast where this lady said she was fine with her man cheating as long as he didn't bring home an STD. And
cheating herself.
yeah, there's something to that. Nope. I've never met a woman with nothing that, I mean, I ain't gonna even say met. I've just never heard of or seen a woman that's like saying, okay, yeah, that's cool. Go ahead and do your thing. Just don't bring nothing home. And she's not doing something herself.
I'll say only way she's cool with it is because she's doing her damn self.
Yeah.
Well, now, okay, so if she's allowing it,
that might not be true.
Wait, if she's allowing it though, that means it's not cheating, correct?
You say what?
They're just in a relationship.
I mean, yeah, because was cheating is something that you would do, and you would hide it, right?
Yeah.
So if she's telling you to do it, yeah.
Like for instance, right? Like Wendy Williams, her ex-husband had been cheating
right
for years, and the one thing that she always said over the course of their marriage, I can forgive a scandal, meaning just a regular cheating scandal. I can forgive that. I can forgive you cheating because you're gonna probably go out there and do it anyway. It is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't forgive a baby.
Mm.
So it's like, and this is a prominent talk show host,
right?
Former radio host and all of that. People know who Wendy Williams is,
right?
She's kind of like the poster child for that type of woman.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
I think most like okay, so back in the day, I think most women knew that they're like our grandpas and their dad. I think most women knew that they probably was, stepping out. They just, from what I seen an interview with an older lady, and she was like, as long as he not taking money out the house, like you take care of your home first. Because I mean, back in the day, that was almost scary normal to have a man with two families within the same radius of each other, and those marriages lasted for like 45 years, though.
Yeah.
So
did that make us think that it was okay?
No, that definitely don't mean it was okay. I think she was probably.
But if no one was holding us accountable back then, you know what I'm saying? Like, what will make you change?
I think women didn't have that much power back then, though.
No, it wasn't. Mm-hmm. There wasn't a lot of it.
So they couldn't just be like, we gonna separate, and now I can go and get a job, and because it wasn't that type of vibe. Nowadays you can do that. You can a lot of women make more than their men in a relationship. I think with this new age and the new. Say that.
Why does that suck for us though? Why does that?
I don't care. My wife makes more than me. I don't care because that's in house.
Yeah, it should be.
Yeah, but don't let her get smell her panties. You know what I'm saying? You're smelling your panties. Don't
let her
smell her
panties. If I bring my wife on here,
if
I bring my wife on here, he would tell you I have no problem with leaving. I'm still self-sufficient.
Yeah.
So I like everything. I know a lot. If you was raised in a single parent household, you might. I can't speak on two parent because I didn't experience that. So a single parent household, a man knows how to do everything: cook, clean, wash his clothes, pay his own bills, all that stuff. He knows how to do all those things. So what he looking for when he gets his woman is somebody to advance him as far as like wisdom, being a man, period. You got all this pressure to provide. It's so much pressure to be like, you need to go out here and you need to be making 6 figures or more so you can provide for me. That's the pressure. But when you get married, you shouldn't have no pressure. That shouldn't be a pressure because no matter how much I make and no matter how much you make, it's all in house. So
and that's a perfect segue. That's a perfect segue to
what was you about to say, Ace?
Well, I don't know if this might be a little bit off subject, right? But I was having a talk with this girl, and I was telling her, she was talking about how men need to take more accountability, right? about not being in the household. You know, so she said this is the reason why the women are becoming more, you know, more prominent in the relationship, making more money and so forth, because men are not taking accountability. So I'm telling her about what about the housing laws that said the men couldn't be in the house? What about the crack epidemic that was taking men out of the homes? And I'm naming all these things, right? And what she says to me though is, okay, for one, you allow the government to kick you out that house because you didn't have to leave. You know what I'm saying? Two, you went out there and sold those drugs. You knew what you could have banded up with other men and figured out something. Instead, you
They
went out
did
there and
that though.
sold
That
those
was the
drugs.
whole Black Panther Party.
Right, exactly. But those who didn't do the Black Panther route, maybe sold drugs, and then boom, they get locked up. But she was saying that those men need to take accountability. You did not have to pick up those drugs. You could have found a job. Maybe it wasn't making as much.
I agree. I agree. We do need to hold each other accountable for that, but it's not that simple. That whole thing was so strategic, and they planned that out. If somebody planned an attack on you and you're not ready, chances are that attack is gonna work.
What it was, they hit us on our weakness, but even with our weakness, we still gotta be held accountable for it, though, right?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. You still, I mean, at the end of the day, like my pops was on my pop. I seen my pops 3 times in my life. Once at his baseball game, and the other 2 times I seen him somewhere, but I just don't remember where. But my pops he could have went to the MLB. He was that good in baseball, and he got into some stuff because he was low on money. Got into some stuff. Somebody snitched on him. He been in and out of prison. I'm 36. He been in and out of prison since then. I haven't seen him since then. Or maybe a picture.
So whose fault was that though? Whose fault was that? Was that his
fault for not being knowledgeable? But at the same time, we got to. It's on both sides, because since I said it was strategic, so they knew if we take the man, because even in Jim Crow, black marriage, 86% of people was married in Jim Crow, and then now we got more freedom now, and now it's like below 50, if I'm not mistaken, like 40-something%. So it's like it was strategic. It's like they slowly did it. Like we didn't bring the drugs in, but if you get somebody depressed, anxiety, they trying to kill that feeling, they usually run to something that's gonna numb it. When that numbness go away, they need it again.
When it wears down, it's like the need for it comes so much harder.
Right. Then you got people that can't work, but instead of using the drugs, they see that it's fitting for them to sell it. So they still gotta eat, they still gotta feed their family.
But we all know, but at the end of the day, we all know that it's wrong to sell drugs. When you say they didn't know any better, they did know better. We all know. I'm pretty sure even at the beginning, you know what I'm saying, they all knew drugs was illegal.
Right.
Yeah, man, come on, like it's like you see when you jump into that deep end of the pool, you know what the hell you're getting into, because just like at the community pools or whatever, like even at water parks, what does it say as it gets further and further down to maybe 7 feet, 8 feet, 9 feet, 12 feet?
Don't pee in the water.
Well, they say that, but it says swim at your, like even at the beach,
right.
Swim at your own risk.
Right.
Meaning there is
a possibility.
There's something. There's a potential, a high probability of something unfavorable happening if you're not prepared before you jump in this situation. You feel what I'm saying? Like if you know you can't swim, why are you jumping off the diving board?
Right. Definitely.
There's something in you that knows that you are, like, literally, you may not be built for this. And even if you are built, like if you are the type of person that feel like they can go out there and do X, Y, and Z, and they not worried about nothing happening to them, you know the ramifications of what you're doing. You know what the chances are of you being killed or you being locked up behind doing something illegal. That's the one thing that everybody has the same baseline when it comes to right and wrong and knowing the do's and don'ts and the rules of engagement and the laws of the land.
Mm-hmm.
If you do this, you are going to jail.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
There's no, there ain't no sugarcoating that. You know
What's
up.
crazy is it's illegal to sell drugs, no doubt. However, drugs is sold every day to us legally.
Mhm.
They like coke selling cocaine is definitely illegal, but Coca-Cola literally had cocaine in their soda at one point in time.
Yeah.
So it's illegal when they're not benefiting. Now they wanted to do that to destroy the community, but so many people got rich off of it. To when okay, now we got to crack down on it. Like I think that's a part of surviving. Like most people take a negative and they make it into as much positive as they can. But anybody watching, selling drugs is definitely wrong. Illegally.
Yeah.
Illegally. If you selling drugs illegally, man.
I don't think selling weed should be on that because they made weed on the same level as coke. I don't that's just ridiculous.
That shit never made sense to me.
Nah, it was because it was targeted.
It's not made. It's not cooked. It's not created. It's grown. Like it's
Right.
naturally grown. Like to me, it's no different. I mean, it's no different than. I mean,
Cocaine is naturally grown.
I mean,
Cocaine.
yeah, but
And they use cocaine in a lot of things. Like, you
shit,
know.
there's cocaine. And like some of the Orajel.
Yeah, it's cocaine and Ritalin.
Yeah.
So I mean, when it's not profiting them, it's illegal. But if you're doing it, because I'm pretty sure they got people in the FBI and shit like that that's literally selling drugs out there.
The show Snowfall is very much realistic.
Yeah.
Very much like that's going on.
So Iris answered us. She said, "When I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I definitely will. Number one, I apologize. Number two, cooking his favorite meal. Number three is possibly buy cologne. I'm sorry, balloons, etc. 4 is change the behavior that caused the need for the apology. And number 5 is where there's definitely sex afterwards."
I'm not mad at that.
No, I'm not.
I'm not mad at that.
And keep in mind, Iris, we're not talking about all women. It's just a general statement. So you might be one of those 1%ers.
Yeah.
That's doing it. Some women strictly think that the sex is just going to change the whole thing. And to some men, I think sex is their weak spot. So they'll rock with it. But you know, after a while, when you get, I ain't gonna say when you get older, because there's some older dudes that do the same way. But when you mature enough and you make it known, like, okay, sex, you can't hold sex over my head. Then it becomes a different game. Like it becomes a different. Okay, now I can't throw sex at them. Now I gotta actually think about what I gotta do to make this right. Versus we saying, okay, I'm just gonna throw in some lingerie, break them off, you know, the usual. But I mean, I'm not mad at that. I had a picture to show because I was trying to. I read a post about the game had made a post, but it's not letting me share. So,
which one are you talking about?
The one where he said
about paying half the rent, having your woman pay half the rent, and she shouldn't have to pay half the rent. You know, you should be the one that's taking care. Yeah.
That one.
He said why she got to pay half the rent? She giving you half the pussy or something? Dude,
right.
Killed me since the beginning of time. Real men have always taken care of shelter, providing and protecting, and if you ain't got it, you go get it. If you're lucky enough to land an independent woman who works her ass off, still comes home to cook, clean, take care of kids, and go crazy sexually, let her stack what she make in case y'all need it one day, and still handle everything as a man. Everybody different, but it just ain't in me to let my woman share the worry of paying for anything. I feel good carrying that load, and I'm not changing. The term "I got a baby and don't worry about it" makes most women's soul smile, heart warm, and vagina get more moist than perfect Toll House cookies. But what do I know?
Yeah,
But he's coming from a millionaire's point of view.
Yeah, and then furthermore, that same. It's funny, like so. That all sound good and everything like that. Hey, and that's cool. Even if you aren't in a position to where that can happen, okay, cool. Like whatever. But it really all depends on the individual in that relationship. Take for instance, Game. Y'all remember when Game had that show on VH1?
Right.
Yeah, we're here like that relationship game show or whatever.
Yeah, no. It was pretty much it was him and his baby mama at the time, like pretty much like his wife.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, it was
before he became like big.
2014 time frame.
Oh, okay.
She was a teacher. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure that he wasn't, she wasn't paying, if he feel like that, she wasn't paying no bills and all of that. That's cool. But he ain't been in a relationship since. So what does that tell you?
Yep.
That dude, and it's not just him. It's a pattern for dudes that fit that feel like that. Not all dudes, but the majority of dudes. If you ask any woman that got out of a relationship with a man like that, 9 times out of 10, guess what they had to deal with all them years? Abuse.
Right.
Mental or physical.
Yeah, verbal or physical. Exactly. Yeah. Mental, all of that. You feel what I'm saying? So yeah, women might be like, oh yeah, that's the type of man I want. Okay, you willing to get smacked up for that? At any moment? Because that's a possibility, because you don't really know that dude.
Most of them, and see, that's the mind frame of most women now.
Mm-hmm.
That's that. If you watch, like, you remember the video we shared last week about the girl saying if he can't pay for my mom's bills, my bills, his bills, and if my sister gets in some stuff, hers, like that's what women that's actually thinking and like that. And I don't look, if you can afford to pay for all the bills and your wife not work or whatever, go ahead and do it. But don't try to make that a selling point. Like, the problem I got with his post, what he said, it's not that what he said was wrong. It's little parts he said. So he said, if you got an independent, you lucky if you got an independent woman that go to work, bust her ass, come home, cook, clean, take care of the kids, and break you off sexually. If any married man, single man, I'm gonna put y'all on some game. Any married man knows this. That's not how it works.
Mm-hmm.
If your wife is going to work, busting her ass, first of all, when she come home, she's tired, and then you want her to cook, clean, and take care of the kids, and then have you trying to do the stuff that you seen on the porno sites? Nah,
that ain't even going.
Now, 9 times out of 10, at least 2 of those days out the week, you cooking as well. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You cleaning on them other days. It's 50-50.
It's supposed to be. I stopped saying 50-50. I started saying 100-100 because when you use 50, you leave a room for it's a gap.
Yeah.
So I can say 100-100. So if she gets home first, if you know she got to clean and take care of the kids, just be like, hey babe, can you just prep the food? I'll get it when I get there.
Yeah.
Or you get there first, vice versa. Okay, babe, when you come in, just go ahead and take care of the food. I'm gonna go ahead and get the kids in the tub, help them with their homework, X, Y, and Z. this, and this. But you got these new relationships where women want you to be like the man was in the 1950s, but they still want to be Instagram models, and that shit is not gonna work. As a married man, I don't want my woman to be online.
Well, you know what? We can't say it's not gonna work. That's just not the woman for us.
That's true.
There's men out there that like those type of women.
Yeah, but do their relationships work?
Nine times out of 10, those relationships don't last.
Like we've seen the Quavo and Saweetie.
Resentment starts to build very quickly. Actually, not even quickly. Over time, just
because if you are doing that, and say something happens and you come up on a hard time, or like you lose your job or something like that, and you can't provide like you was providing, she's gonna say something, because now you're taking her out of her comfort of what she was regularly used to, being able to do whatever she wanted to, whenever she wanted to, and now it's like, okay, now you both got to work. She's gonna make sure she mentions that. She's gonna bring it up.
Yeah. Definitely.
So
definitely.
One right here.
Mayzella said that's a good point. Is that what you're saying?
That's true. Yeah. I think that's true though. I think we get drunk with power. I think we do get drunk with power, being in control of everything. Really, I really
see that video. The video with the old dude saying, it's two videos that I've seen where older dude saying, my wife ain't got to do nothing. None of her name is on the bills. Like, she ain't got to do an oil change or nothing. There's one video he's sitting in the living room, and it looks like it's a room full of women. And they all agreeing. He's like, this is what a man supposed to be doing. Then it's another video where the dude is saying the same thing. I think one of those videos, one of those gentlemen was in court for a divorce or something like that. But I always say, all that sounds good. It looks good on paper. But like Travis said, and like Mayzella said, you're under his control. Like, let you have a day where you have a headache or you got a stomach ache or something. He come home and the house is, it don't even have to be dirty. It could be something off, because those people, I think men like that are like what's that? It's almost like OCD. So it's got something is off. It's up. It's like his attitude is gonna shift. And I think women put themselves in a bad position when they allow a man. I think a man will put himself in a bad position if he got a woman that's making, 500, 600K a year, and he's like, well, I'm gonna be a stay-at-home dad. As a man, personally, I can't be a stay-at-home dad. It's not in me. I feel like if you a man and your role or your duty is to serve and protect, it's impossible. I mean, provide and protect. It's impossible for you to do that being a stay-at-home dad. I think you relinquish some of that power. And like AC said earlier, when she starts smelling her panties, let her come home one day. And you've been playing a game, and you like, oh snap, I forgot. Now women, they ceiling for like doing you dirty is higher than us.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So I think people need to actually become friends first. Date, like it's the process. Like the Quavo and the old girl.
Hold on, I want to speak on that. That's a good one right there. That's a good one right there.
Who, Iris?
Okay. Is it important to court a woman? Because nowadays we never do that. But I think that bites us in the ass. Is it important to court her and build that friendship first?
I think it is. For me, if I was to go back and tell my 18-year-old self, I would definitely be like, hey man, get to know her first before you put a title to it. Like, this is my girl, but you don't know, her birthday. And I always say, me and my wife said this, you never know who a person really are until you stay with them. Once you move in, y'all move in with each other, you start seeing little stuff that they do. They be like, hey, that piss you off. So as much as people we like in church they preach you shouldn't stay together before marriage and stuff like that. I think you should. Me personally, I think you should. Me and my wife stayed together before we got married, and it cut down on a lot of BS when we did. So now I know what she expects, how she expects her house to look, how she expects things to be going, because at the end of the day, women pay attention to really particular things. So in order for me to be on the good side, I gotta be like, okay, so I know my wife when she come home or when she go to sleep, I know she doesn't like dishes in the sink. That gets to her. So let me make sure I handle that. She might be like, okay, before I go to sleep, I know when he wakes up, he likes his water room temp. So let me put a water out for him in the morning. It's just little things. Huh?
What was your first? Tell me about the first time. Okay, Mr. I won't put this. Tell me about the first time you figured out what annoys her. So like you said, like this your situation. Tell me how you figured it out. Did she go hard on you and you were like, okay, I'm not going to do that next time?
One of the things is I have a bad habit of, this is just me being single. When I was single, I had my own place. Me not really paying a bill on time. It wasn't like a big issue for me. Like I'm like, oh, it's 2 days late. All right, I'll pay it. That she does not. She don't fuck with that. Like that's one of the.
So what happened? Tell me what happened though.
Oh no, it was an argument, and I felt like I say, I was a man. I was single. I was transitioning, so I felt like it's not a big deal. Why are you tripping? But later on, she explained like that becomes a habit, and later on in life, it can hurt you more than it can improve you. So I'm like, that's true. So I had to bite the bullet.
Yeah, but that's not one of those things that you learn. Like that has nothing to do with the move in type of thing. That's something that she's trying to teach you.
I had my own apartment first. So
but I'm talking about one of them things that you learned about her that you knew, like when y'all moved in together, just like the dishes. You knew, but somehow I feel like there's a story behind that. She went off on.
I would have to think about it. The dishes is number one. The dishes is up there. She doesn't like dishes in the sink.
How'd you figure that out though?
Leaving dishes in the sink.
No.
I mean, there ain't no other way to find out. Like that.
Right. And see,
what was the action? What was her reaction? What is she?
How it's like some women express themselves different. So some are actually like they'll talk to you. My wife ain't really that. She'll say something like, "Hey baby, why you didn't wash the dishes?" I'm like, "Oh, I was, I fell asleep." She'll be like, "Oh, okay." So then it becomes like it becomes like pettiness, like like petty things. You know what I'm saying? Yep. Like, okay, so I don't like this, so I know you don't like this. So like she knows what irked me was leaving the toothpaste top off. That really, I don't know why, but that really like, and I used to always be like, why you leave toothpaste top? But then you end up losing it. Now you got to put foil on it. So, that just, I don't know. That
OCD start acting up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the dishes was like top of the line. I would say if I had to pick one, it would be the dishes.
Yeah. What it was the shit was probably something I did the other day. Hold up. I think for me it was like the first time I forgot to do something I said I was gonna do. Like no matter, it wasn't even something that was big. It was just
you said you was gonna do it.
Yeah. Well, like one time the first year of marriage, like I had lied to her about blowing weed, right? Because one, where we was at, it was highly illegal and they'd kick you out of the country. Two, her job, and she was in the military, so like she couldn't be around it. You feel what I'm saying?
Oh, okay.
But she kind of, she knew, but like when she would ask me, I'm like, okay, I want you to have all plausible deniability. That was my whole thinking with that. But like, so yeah, the first time I had when I lied to her about that, it kind of set the tone of how she feels when she could know that I know that she know. But if I'm joking, if I joke and say, yeah, I did that, she'd be like, no, you didn't. I'm like, you know I did. You know I know that you know I didn't. So why are you asking me if I like? It's just even look, even like with little
that's
stuff like
that's
that.
the way to find out if we're gonna tell them the truth.
Yeah, I'm like,
What
not,
up, Slickster?
like don't ask don't ask me questions. Don't ask me rhetorical questions. Like if you know the answer to the question, like please don't act, because I feel like you're wasting both of our time. I don't like my time.
That's a pet peeve of mine right there.
Like please don't waste my time and do not insult my intelligence.
Right.
Like that. I hate that, because now I'm in a defense mode. Like if you make it like if that'd be with anybody. Like if you make it seem like what I'm saying to you is not factual.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I sit up there and tell you like, hey, like, oh yeah, that's my that's my homeboy. Say it could be somebody we see on TV. I'm like, yeah, I know, dude. Really? Fuck, what I
Yeah.
fuck I gotta lie about that for?
But
If I don't know somebody, like that's one thing I've never had needed to do was either lie to say I know somebody or lie on my dick.
right.
Now, lie to save my life, lie to get out of trouble. Hell, we done all did that shit before. You know what I'm saying? But like, ain't nobody just. I don't know now one person that just voluntarily went up to the person and said,
Wait,
hey,
you had to lie
I
to save
stole
your
off
life?
on the
Hold on.
motherfucking fourth period. Nobody.
Hold on. You had to lie to save your life?
One time.
Yeah, no, I want to hear about this.
Yeah. This is an interesting story.
Is it safe to talk about? We don't want you to die on podcast, man.
No.
You don't see a hand come out of nowhere?
This was a long.
I'm gonna have to remove him. Oh snap!
Nah, this was when I was maybe 11, 12 years old.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it wasn't nothing like where I was doing some dirt and like I got caught up and then motherfuckers was like, hey, no, it wasn't nothing like that. It was just
Okay.
It was one of them things where I knew somebody had did something in the neighborhood, and you know how it is, the police want to come around asking questions,
Right.
But we know whether you're in that life or not. If you live in that environment, you know what the rules are. The police come around, and you, especially if you know what's happening, because you gonna get handled like everybody else that like if they decided they to open their mouth.
Right.
So and especially because I knew who they were, the fact that I knew who they were asking about, I knew the consequences if I said, yeah, homeboy was over here. So
what was homeboy's name again?
You say what? What did you say?
What was homeboy's name again?
I don't even talk to him no more.
Hey, so Mayzella said, what's the difference between wife duties and girlfriend duties? Sometimes a man would ask I think she meant woman. Sometimes a man would ask a woman to do something and they would respond, did you make me your wife? Oh yeah, I've heard that.
Wait a minute, and they will respond, did you make me? Okay, so check this out. Everybody in here had a job, right?
Definitely.
Everybody in here started at entry level, right?
Mm-hmm.
After so long, you get a promotion, right?
Usually 90 days.
But there's a criteria you have to meet before
Right.
you get promoted, correct?
Right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't you have to start performing those duties
Before
you get promoted?
Right.
Right. You got to act
So
like the
women,
manager
if
to
you're looking
become
to
the
get
manager.
wifed up out here, y'all might want to start acting wifely,
Right.
doing things
But
in
see-
a wifely manner.
Oh, okay,
if
here we go.
you're
Here's
trying to
another
get
one.
wifed up.
Here's another one I've been thinking about. I think as men again, responsibility, we should not have sex with women that we cannot see ourselves with. We got to stop
Facts.
doing that.
yeah,
Thanks.
That's
You know
true.
what I'm saying?
I think that's I don't know. I agree with that, but I think the nature of men, I think over the years the nature of men they changed it. They told us how we should be. Because we know men are predator. They hunt. It's a hunt. Right? So if you hunt, like if you're courting a chick, you might not have plans on messing with her, but at the end of the day, you wanna kill your prey, so to speak. So I think in a man's natural DNA makeup, you know how they say, well, men are gonna be men. It's a saying, I hear that, but I hear it mostly from women. But I think that's one of the things that comes with being a man is that I think I don't agree that it's right, because I definitely do think now that I'm learning that you transfer energy when you messing with a lot of people, and that's how people be getting messed up with putting all these different energies in themselves. Both sides, men and women. So I definitely agree that you should pick your partners wisely. But I think I can't really say because I'm married, but from the looks of it, I think that thinking is rare. Like it's just let me get what I can get before I get married.
yeah.
Right.
But I do agree with you. I was always, of course, when you get raised in the church, you was always taught not to have sex before marriage, and I think that's kind of valid. Now you're not looking at a person. You're actually learning about somebody, characteristics. You're building an emotional bond with them, and it's not based off of sex. So I agree with it to a point. But I think, like I also said, I think you should stay with somebody before you get married. So
That I definitely agree with.
that would be hard to do. Stay with somebody, who's to say how long that process takes? Travis cut out.
I don't know what happened.
Look like he probably unless his phone died. So let me read some of these comments. It's a lot of comments. Let's see. It says Iris said, I definitely agree on as some women mistake sex with y'all being together. Yeah. I think that happens on both sides though.
What?
Some women mistake sex as like y'all officially together.
I mean, that's the impression that you. Well, I don't know. It's all about understanding.
I guess whoever you talk to. I mean, it like somebody said it earlier that you need to have a dialogue. So I guess y'all need to see. Y'all need to make that known. Like, hey, look, man, I'm not really looking for nothing serious. Because man, we can run the game because we know she's not gonna easily give it up. So we'll step up to that level to make her think I'm really, really committed to being with you, and we'll get what we can get. And then it's kind of like, I ain't really looking for nothing serious.
Oh boy, that sucks though. To that your emotions lead you to believe one thing, and then after you bust that nut, it's like, you think something totally different.
Yeah,
That's crazy. Like that's some.
You got to think though.
I feel like at some point in our lives, I feel like we've all been there, where like
Mm-hmm.
we was thinking with our dick instead of our brain.
Our brain.
Right.
Because like our dick is like, hey man, we like once dick get hard, bro.
I say it's two people. It's two different people. It's me,
yeah, for sure.
and then
like,
it's
I can
him.
be pissed. Take for instance, right? Like 2015, my wife and I was like, it was almost done, right?
Yeah.
Everything in me was like, yo, I'm done. She step out the shower, and I'm like, bro, down here, like, I don't give a fuck what you talking about.
Now change your heart that bad.
But we got to get this shit handled down here. Like, it's like that. You feel what I'm saying? And you know, and as you into it, like, bro, like, you know what I'm saying? Like AC said, like, soon as you bust that nut, everything that you was thinking about, or you know, that quiet voice in the back of your mind saying, "Hey, I don't think you should go through with this. I don't think you should go along with it," comes right here.
Right.
And the bad part is you're gonna have a major regret that you did it.
Right. Definitely. I definitely
you did it.
That's and we already know as far as like the body goes, when a man, his blood rushes from his head. So you're not thinking clearly anyway.
At all.
Like you're an airhead. When you're in between that 30 minutes or whatever, however long you plan on, you're an airhead. You are a complete airhead. She can make you
say or do whatever she wants.
Whatever in that span. Like Dave Chappelle was like, you know, you doing it, and she be like, "Ooh, go nut in the fish tank." You be like, "All right." You know, it's
I
like
call that that's the Hulk syndrome right there.
The Hulk,
the way he transform is just that's how the penis be.
Right.
Just like that.
I think that's a weakness that I don't know. Do you think that we can, like, is that a weakness that can become a strength? Like,
no, I think that's the weakness that you got to control. I think that's one of those things you have to learn how to control it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of mistakes would be avoided if you could control it. Because, you know, sometimes you'll be in something and you'll be like, you know, this just don't feel right. But you're an airhead at this point. So
you're already there.
Right. Then you're gonna end up happening that becomes that mistake. And I don't want to put all the responsibility on men because women know what they're doing at this point.
Yeah,
you know?
But just because no, because that's like saying, yeah, she led me to rob this bank. Hell no, we can't do that. That would not.
That's different though. Sexually,
we can't do that though. We still got to take responsibility for our own penis.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. If as far as like what you said, when you you got to learn how to control it, right? But say you trying to control it, and you like, you know what? We need to chill.
Mm-hmm.
I think women have this energy or this.
They sense when you're thinking that, and they're like, nope.
Right. It's easier.
There's no gun to our heads, fellas. I'm sorry, I'm sounding like Derek Jackson. There is no gun to our head saying that we got to do this. We could have easily said, I got to go. Easily.
How many times have you did that?
Man, come on now. You know I'm talking shit.
I was gonna say, I don't think either of us.
This is something I've learned. This is something that I've learned yesterday type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is new. You know what I'm saying? This is all new. This is some shit that I ain't never followed before, but I'm learning to follow now. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. I mean, man,
but like I said, it's our choice. It's our choice at the end of the day.
Like you said earlier, you gotta
stop saying that.
Right. I think what you said earlier, you said as far when we was talking about the drugs, like you gotta take some responsibility. So I definitely agree we need to take responsibility. I just think that it's something that needs to be worked on, and I don't know too many men that's willing to. You gotta
You
gotta
gotta
get to
master
a
it.
certain mindset.
Now,
Yes.
here's a question. Like before we get to the next thing.
She said, "Wait, not the fish tank."
Is it in a relationship? Like say if like one side steps out on the other, right?
Mm-hmm.
Your
You might cut out.
Oh shit! I was wondering what happened.
Hey, people keep messaging me.
You supposed to put your phone on Do Not Disturb.
I did.
I think he recorded. He recorded off his phone though.
It's Messenger. Like it's Messenger. That was my. I got hit my. That was my coach. I got hit my coach back up. But what was I saying? Oh yeah. So yeah. Does the other party have a part to play in the other person stepping out? Like say if there's strife in the relationship, right?
Mm-hmm.
And y'all into it, ain't nothing going right. I mean, it's this has been going on for a while, and that one person has been lacking intimacy, lacking sex, all of that. You know, just being physically and emotionally available. Like if they have been lacking that, and they step out, do you feel like that person has been pushed in that direction, or do you feel like the person that did it, all of that is on them?
I think this is where women are going to try to say that, oh, you're trying to blame me, but they're not willing to accept them pushing to it. Like if they're not one, if there's something wrong, there needs to be open discussion.
Right.
Women need to just like women say, well, men need to communicate. They need to communicate as well. Like, what's wrong with you that you're not wanting to do, like that you're not wanting to have sex? That, you know, saying shit like that. If they don't want to converse and say, what is it that we are doing that's bothering them to not want to do it, and they don't want to have that conversation either. They don't want to bring that shit to the table, and then when we step out, we're instantly the bad guy, and they're gonna tell all their friends and family, like, "Oh, he did all this and this."
Okay, I gotta say this: did we have the option to leave? As soon as we realized that we were feeling this way, did we have the option to leave?
And from a marriage point of view, that's not as easy as it sounds. As dating, if you're dating, it's always an option. Huh? Yeah, with the dating part, you don't have no. I mean, if you don't have no ties to each other, you know, as far as like something bound, you know, with marriage is kind of different, you know. I kind of think it's both, but I think communication is always the bottom line of it. I think if something's bothering you, we need to talk about it, because that's why I say the 50-50 should be 100-100. You're doing 50% of the work, and your partner's doing 50% of the work. You're leaving room for somebody else to come in
and do that other 50.
And it's always somebody else ready to come in.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so when somebody steps out, and I think each other, they don't make it as easy to talk, you know, because nobody really wants to talk about. That's like a sensitive subject, right? And most people are scared of the repercussions, the consequences for it. You know, women cheat differently from men. I know women cheat more from an emotional standpoint. They might feel like you're not communicating with them, you're not talking to them enough, you're not, you know, this enough. I think men cheat for a whole different reason. And they could also cheat for emotional reasons too. You know, because we make it seem like we're not emotional creatures, but we are emotional creatures too. We handle our emotions differently. But I think it falls on, sometimes it falls on both. Yeah. Some people just ain't shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's ultimately up to your partner. If y'all talk it out, you'll find out. You know, I don't think once is a make or break, because I always say we human. You know, we're not robots. We're not perfect. So you're human. It's billions of people on this planet. Why do we think? Why do men think and why do women think that your partner is only going to be sexually attracted to you?
Yeah.
But it's the act. Yeah, I could be sexually attracted to somebody else. You can too. But it's the act that makes it bad.
Yeah.
But when you leave that space, you leave a space for that act. So it's just like somebody window shopping. Eventually, if the security is not there, somebody gonna go in and get
the space for the act that we.
Huh?
Ace cut out.
You cut out.
Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you. Your picture's frozen though.
Hello.
Yeah, we hear you. You can't see.
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
can
we
hear
can hear you.
Okay,
There you
I
go.
can hear y'all now.
Yeah.
Is that making an excuse though?
No, it's never an excuse, but it's a human flaw that we all have.
Word.
So
It's a human flaw that we all have.
everybody has. It might, because we correlate to the sex part, but you can get cheated on emotionally.
Yeah.
I always say people say they love God, but they cheat on God every day with the stuff that they do. You know what I'm saying? And that's the person who created you that you're supposed to worship and hold on this high panel, but you do stuff behind closed doors and you idol worship every day, and then they say they want to thank God for X, Y, and Z. You got drug dealers that's thanking God for the money that they're getting for poisoning the community. You know what I'm saying? So it's different levels of cheating. We just looking at the sexual aspect.
Yeah.
But it don't always start right there. It starts somewhere and it gradually goes up. Because that person can be attracted to somebody and
Never act on impulse.
AC
Yeah.
cut out. That person can be sexually or physically attracted to somebody, and you can, by you communicating and just casually talking, you can eliminate that.
Yeah.
But if you're too hard on yourself, then like I say, you're gonna leave room for that interference, and it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
It kind of, like I say, it's a human flaw. We all flawed. Some people might not struggle with that. Some people might struggle with something else, alcoholism. You know.
Racism.
Okay, he back in. Let me add him back.
I felt you know.
You back? You can hear us?
Yo.
AC. You froze. You having those blue issues, man. Blue, you having your issues, man.
Nah, but
What was you was about to say something?
Nah, I was saying that you were saying like when people have struggles and everything like that, and that's very true. The one thing I feel like I don't know. At first I thought people struggle with racism, but like I don't know if racism is a struggle.
No, racism is a choice. You don't struggle. Racism is straight up a choice.
Yeah, it's definitely a choice, especially now because there's no way that you don't know what's going on. You feel what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Now
I'm glad you brought this up, Travis, because I wanted to talk about the
Army dude.
Yeah, the incident with the Army dude.
Yeah. So when I first seen it,
AC, have you seen that video?
Which video again?
It's the
guy in the neighborhood that stopped that kid.
Yeah, Pentland. He stopped a black boy in the neighborhood and pretty much was antagonizing him and all this other stuff, and
I mean, he pushed him. He
pushed him and everything.
Bush
And
said he was
broke
in
his
the
home.
wrong neighborhood. He didn't live
Yeah.
here and all of that.
Yes, I seen that. I seen
Right.
that. That's the Marine man, the military guy.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Army dude. Now,
Army.
this is
Yeah, man.
now this for me, you know, obviously, you know, it hit on different levels for me because me and that guy swore under the same oath.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But I know there's a lot of, but that right there,
It's
that
common.
that right there proves that there is bigots in the military, in leadership positions. That man
Yep.
was a drill.
He was a
that
drill
man was a
sergeant. Somebody was asking, like, imagine him, you know, in his.
Bro, he was a drill sergeant.
Yeah, the army's like investigating. Like they've already taken him away from being a drill sergeant and all that shit already.
Right. That's what, because
That's what's up.
to be
That's
honest
what's
with you, he can't even be a sergeant because sergeants have people under them.
Under them,
He
yep.
can't be in
He
any
can't be in
sort
no
of
leadership.
position.
Nope.
He can't rate on nobody. He can't do none of that. So for a lot of that, you know, for on that piece, I was pissed off. On the obvious piece, I'm like, maybe this is the ignorant side of me or whatever, but I be wishing shit like that happened to me in my neighborhood.
Right.
I be wanting.
I be hating when I be seeing.
React in a way.
I be wishing because I hate that shit myself.
Yeah.
I hate when I be wanting them to be acting like that around to somebody while I'm around
Mm-hmm.
because they gonna see somebody of their flesh
Right.
go hard on them.
Yep.
Right.
And I'll be right in their face. I'm not gonna touch them unless they touch me. You gonna touch me first. That way when I whoop your ass, I'm justified.
Self-defense.
I'm justified. You touch me first.
And
But
see, this is and watching that video, it just made me want to put my kids in these self-defense classes and stuff even more.
Yeah.
So there's
damn well he ain't gonna do that to somebody like T.
right. They know who to. They know.
Who they can push up on.
Oh, AC, what you saying? My bad. I was talking.
I was saying they said T looks scary. We ain't fucking with T.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he ain't gonna fuck with T, but he gonna fuck with that. He gonna fuck with a little kid.
Right.
He felt big pushing up on a little kid.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
You know somebody outside, bro.
yeah, and that's what I'm saying is like I wish.
That's why he's scared to
my
come
wife-
out now while everybody in his front yard.
Yeah, because my wife asked me, she was like, well, what would that happen if, you know, like if my son, like Bronson's he about to be 2 soon.
Right.
But she was like, well, what if he was in that situation? I'd be like, I would tell him to call me. I was like, but if he's constantly getting approached, I'm gonna tell him get far enough away to where you can get to your phone and then call me, and Daddy will take care of it from there.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? But this is what I love. I feel like Black folks and our you know our allies in this situation, I feel like we got better intel than the government.
Yeah.
Our intel team, second to none. That includes the military.
Bro, they found out so much stuff about him like
In
that.
an hour.
Man, if you go back
what the dude had for breakfast at 6 years old.
Right.
if you go back
at his front
6 years
doorstep
ago,
the next day.
Yeah, they was out there for I want to say a day and a half.
All day.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
day long. They had lawn chairs and everything.
Yeah.
Come on out.
He had to get police.
we want to talk to you. We want to talk to you now.
Yeah. And you know what? I'm gonna put that photo on my cover wall
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
on my page, because
That makes
you know
sense.
what I just thought about. You know what that looked like to me?
That's unity to me.
That looked like unity, and that looked like the other side of the coin of Jim Crow.
Yeah.
Mm.
That looked like the other side of the coin. Don't feel good, dude.
Have y'all seen? It's a show called Them.
I watched the first episode. I couldn't watch no more, bro.
Yeah, it's. I don't know who created this.
It's the same lady. She's created some wild, like she did the Shy. She did. She's done a lot of like.
Ain't that Lena Waithe for something?
Yeah, Lena Waithe.
Okay, yeah. I don't know what her sense of what that movie that series is. I don't know. I don't know how that made it to.
What is it about? What is it about?
Oh man,
Yes,
it's
sir.
racist as fuck. But it's about okay. So we all was taught how we was all taught the South was like this racist and all this kind of stuff, but nobody ever talks about like the North. The North was they just wasn't as bad as the South, but it was the same. Even the Midwest, even on the West, you know, it just wasn't as.
This took place in East Compton, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. So they moved. They was moving people. They was moving black people into these all white neighborhoods and giving them these crazy mortgages that they know they wasn't gonna pay.
%.
And their family moved in, and these white people got a whole bunch of lawn chairs and just sat in front of their house playing their music. All women though, mostly. Then they hung a whole bunch of black dolls on their porches and all this stuff. And it's crazy because it's I know that's happened literally before. It's like she didn't make it up. Like this happened before in history.
Yeah.
You know, and so what Travis is talking about, how we did, that's what he was saying. It's the flip side. We are actually doing the intimidating.
The only difference is we ain't hanging little Cabbage Patch babies
right
off of mailboxes and burning crosses. Because to be honest with you, they could have kicked that man's shit in.
Yep.
And handled their business.
And nobody could have stopped it.
Nope.
Handle their business. And that's the difference between. I ain't gonna say it's different between black and white because I know it's like you said that we got allies. You know what I'm saying? But I think it's between racist white people and us. Racist white people would have kicked the door down.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And handled their business. But I don't think our mindset is that we don't. I honestly think black people don't want to harm nobody.
All my friends, in the end, at black people, y'all want peace. Y'all want peace. Like y'all want peace. Y'all don't want.
Kevin Gates said, I take a lot of stuff Kevin Gates said because he say some smart stuff sometimes. Sometimes he be off the wall. Mm-hmm. He said a warrior's greatest accomplishment is peace. That's ultimately what he wants. And we ain't had peace
ever.
A long time.
Bro, ever.
Pre-slavery.
Yeah,
Pre-slavery.
Ever.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like we don't even know we don't know what freedom is. Mm-hmm. We never tasted freedom before. You know what I'm saying? So, like Travis said, they easily could have that could have went left. And I think that actually speaks volumes to us. We're not willing to
That should show America in the world.
Yeah.
That should show the world that we are not.
Hey, so you good, man? This is a raw podcast, man. We have children crying, microwaves going off, all that kind of stuff, man. You good?
Yeah, it's come on, man. Like now that one dude that approached that kid. If that kid wanted to, he was well within his right.
Yeah.
To give him back that same energy.
Yeah.
But he didn't do that. He was respectful the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
He never raised his voice.
But Pentland was very aggressive to the point where he pushed him.
Yeah, twice.
Now and threatened him.
And then broke his phone. Yeah, broke his phone.
Ended up breaking his phone. So
a large gathering
of people
that look like me, with a few sprinkled that look like J-Boy, was out there standing in the street. Nobody went to go knock on his door. Nobody yelled, "Hey bitch, come out. Bring your wife with you."
They just kept saying, "We want to talk." They kept saying, "We want to talk.
We want to holler at you, man. That's it."
I think that literally speaks volumes on on the behalf of people that just want, like J Boy said, just want peace.
Mm-hmm.
It's not about you did this, so we're gonna do something worse.
Yeah.
Now, on the flip side of that, I said this before on the show. I think the black community needs 10 people that's highly skilled and trained on taking motherfuckers out. So when stuff happens and they go to the court, and like old girl that shot old boy, that thought she was a taser, she's out on bond.
Yeah.
Now here's what I think is gonna happen too. Either what I feel like it should happen. I had a conversation with my homeboy about this the other day. What happened in South Carolina, the aftermath of it, how everybody was standing in front of that man's house, someone come outside, we trying to talk. I feel like every time some fuck shit like that happens,
that should be the approach.
That should be the approach of everybody in that community, in the surrounding community.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree.
Put that pressure, because if you continue to apply that kind of pressure, it's gonna make them. They start to question and be like, damn, because you gonna have like surrounding cities coming forth, and they don't want that pressure.
Nah,
because every time they walk out their house, they get
right.
Hey, y'all, remember in that video, dude had said, we're a tight-knit community over here.
Mm-hmm. You saw how their community came.
Yeah, and that community is gated. Now ask me, did that matter?
Right.
Gated shit didn't do shit for you.
There's one thing I know is that we can find a code to a gate. So all you
gotta do is just wait for one car to go in, and you go in and keep that bitch open.
All you have to do, and then all you have to do is just now. I'm not speaking from experience and nothing like that. But once the gate open, if you hit the chain, it ain't gonna close. I'm not saying I've ever done that.
Honestly, all you gotta do is with your car just barely bump the gate, and it's gonna stay open.
Right.
Right. It feels like it hit something.
And if ain't nobody got a car, there's two things you can do. If you ever live in an apartment complex that got a gate, those gates can be manually pushed open.
Yep.
That's one.
Yeah.
Two, we are not above hopping a fence.
No.
We done did this. We done did that all our life.
Nah. And those gates is easy to jump.
What is a gated community?
You got one rail, you just pull straight up.
Because to be honest with you, them gated communities they are anchored on each side by something something solid.
That's easy to break.
That's easy to break, and that's easy to be like, ugh. All right, we in here. Then what?
People, those type of people feel comfortable in those gated communities, but ain't no gate. Nothing. If somebody wants to get in somewhere, they're gonna get in.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna circle back to something T said, like talk about like investigators and shit. If you would have called me back at like 5-6 years ago, when people were like putting blast, like I used to get tagged in so much of it because I literally would like one thing people fail to remember. LinkedIn is a big page. That's where you find out where a lot of people. I put a lot of people on blast and put their LinkedIn page, which has the corporation where they work.
Right.
You get that HR.
Right.
You get them phone numbers and you apply that pressure. I'll look for it and I'll send y'all the DM. Like I've got so many different posts from like years ago where I used to just like pull up people's whole LinkedIn pages, all that shit, and put their phone number on blast, their address.
They knew his wife's birthday was.
Yeah,
his
birthday.
I'm
telling you, they found out what dude had for breakfast when he was 6. I'm serious. It was that quick, and she was and his wife, bro. She wasn't even in the camera. We just heard it.
Yeah.
And the next thing you know, somebody done found a picture of him and her together roasting her.
Yep. And then they went after his child too, on his Instagram. Like they were clown. Like he literally deleted his old Instagram, created a new one, and they were going in. Like he finally stopped. He finally, I guess, learned how to turn off all the comments. But they were roasting the shit out of his son, calling his son a bitch, all that shit.
Hey, he might want to figure out he might want to figure out how to do that to the messages.
Hey,
I
man,
guarantee you his message request in IG.
that's. I think.
I did a couple of them.
I'm telling you. So
one of the
right
posts I
there,
called the crybaby bitch.
three of them at least. 3 of them at least from J Boy.
There you go, man. It's just right now. It kind of sucks that all this is happening.
Yeah.
When people say they don't see racism, man, it's just I think they are just not.
They're in denial. They see it. They see it. You can't not see it. You can't
I
not
don't feel
see
like they in denial. I don't feel like they're in denial. They just it don't buy it. Nothing has
it.
hit.
They're racist too.
Yeah, they classic racist. I don't see color. Yeah, you do. You do.
Nah, and I think in actuality, by you saying you don't see color, it's kind of disrespectful too.
It's really a slap in the face because you can't I got a white homeboy, white homegirl, whomever, right? Tell my mother-in-law.
Right.
My mother-in-law is white. You know what I'm saying? My wife is biracial.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot say you don't see color and you have someone who can, at any given moment, while they minding their business, can be punished for what they look like.
Yeah, and that'd be the main reason, man.
Yeah.
Like the officer that got pepper sprayed and stuff like that. Like I seen the other video, and the police officer is kind of like, he's kind of like giving him these choices. Like, look, man, if you take it to the military, they might double down on you, you know, X, Y, and Z, or we could just forget about this incident and we let you be on your way. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, are you serious?
That other officer, like him saying, like, I hate when I read the story that from the other officer saying that the reason that they decided not to do it so that way he didn't get doubled down on the on punishment from the military too. One, he ain't do nothing wrong. All because he wanted to make sure both of y'all were safe.
Mm-hmm.
Himself, he turned into a lighted gas station,
and
we talked about this last week. Like it's the same shit that Jay Prince said in his book. When the officers tried to pull him over, he pulled into a lighted parking lot because he knew if he went into a dark alley where they wanted him to pull over, it was going to turn bad for him.
Right.
So the guy knew. He's like, I did it for both our safety, so that way you felt safe and I felt safe.
And he was smart because I think he had his firearm on his hip too. So in the dark, that's all it took for him. One of the cops to say, "Hey, don't reach for that," and then bow, 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 bow. That's all it took. Now it's your word against
on his hip. You got one of them saying, "Take your seatbelt off." All they would have to say is, when he reached for his seatbelt, they thought he reached for his gun.
Yep.
And
that's why and then the officer lied and said when they told him to take his hands out, he had his hands out like this, and we didn't know what he had. Then you watch the video, you clearly see his hands out like this.
Like this.
I said, man, this. And then what's crazy is those videos.
They forget they have these body cameras on. It's like they forget they have these body cameras on, and they say the whole story, and then when the body cameras come out, it's like, oh, oops.
Yeah, but what's crazy is that the recordings, they act like they don't even exist. Oh yeah, we see that he was. I don't know if y'all seen this video. A dude had a mental patient. It was a black dude. He worked at a hospital. One of his mental patients got out, and he's trying to bring him back in, and the cops show up. And he's letting the cops know, man, he's one of my patients. Let me get him. And the cops is telling him to get on the ground. He got on the ground, and they still shot him. And he's like, they didn't kill him, but he got wounded. I think he got shot like in the leg or something like that. He's like, why did you shoot me? And the cop was like, I don't know. Like, what the fuck? What? Come on, man. It's just, it's crazy, man. This world, I don't care. They need to take God Bless America off of everything that got to do with the United States.
Yeah.
God has nothing to do with this shit that's going on. It's crazy, and it's not. At first, I was like, it's not safe for black people, but It really ain't. If you not one of them, it's nobody safe.
Shit, it was
Hey, what y'all
last
think?
night I was at the Spurs game, and during the anthem, I was sitting down, and I was on Facebook Live, and I had turned the camera on myself, and behind me there's this dude, like this white dude looking, and he's just mugging because I'm standing there. Look, so I zoomed in right on his face. I was like, "Are you really that mad?"
Yeah, I've had that experience before of not standing at a Cowboys game, and yeah, it was pretty interesting, man. It's people that do give you those looks, but I'm like, I don't care, man. We can line it up one by one. I'm pretty sure I can take 50 of y'all before y'all can take me down. So
Yeah.
I mean,
What y'all think? What y'all think this George Floyd, verdict or Derek Chauvin verdict gonna be?
Nah,
It's gonna come out to like manslaughter, but he ain't gonna.
but I'm about to say it's manslaughter, so it's not gonna carry the same weight.
They're not gonna hit him with the. They're not gonna get him with the second degree murder. If the largest they're gonna probably get is a third degree murder, which carries the same weight as manslaughter, 25 years. And I doubt
He's not gonna do all 25.
Yeah, I doubt they're gonna. I doubt the judges is even gonna give them the.
I think they be putting the cops in jail for a little while, and then they take them out and they just relocate them.
Yeah.
Witness protection. I don't think these cops is in.
No.
they not sitting in. They not
Even
sitting
though
in.
that killed both of them,
Both them, like that girl that killed
both them John in Dallas.
yeah, both them John in his apartment.
Yeah.
She ain't in jail.
No.
Nah, I don't believe that.
Probably some type of like a halfway house or something like, or she's. I can tell you right now, she's nowhere near where she's at. She's been moved probably to some like Idaho or some shit.
Yeah,
Vermont.
Man, like that's
Yeah.
that would be safe.
For some reason, I think Vermont is the destination where they send witness protection people for cops. I think Vermont. I don't know why. I just feel like Vermont is that spot. It's crazy, but so the comments was jumping tonight. Appreciate everybody for tuning in, man. If y'all still watching, make sure y'all share the content, man. Make sure y'all go and follow a Radioactive Podcast, man. He be having some great interviews. Make sure y'all go follow J-Boy, Travis, and y'all better follow me because I talk shit and I might make a diss record about you, and it ain't gonna be a good one. But appreciate AC for tuning in. Before we sign out, man, let us know what you got brewing in the lab. Drop your social media and stuff so people can go ahead and follow you.
So it's Radioactive Podcast, of course, on Facebook. On Instagram, check us out. It's Radioactive_podcast. And on YouTube is Radioactive Podcast. Y'all check us out every Sunday at 7 p.m. on Facebook. So tune in this Sunday. It's gonna be a good one.
Well, shout out to Aubrey too.
Yeah, man, my co-host, man.
Yeah.
Shout out. Man, my sister.
Dropping that music like crazy.
Yes, indeed. That's my boy.
J-Boy, go ahead and do your thug this. I know you was here last time, but
Yeah. Catch me on Instagram. Instagram's probably gonna be really the only thing I'm gonna be on right now. As far as for music and like anything I'm really doing, because I'm gonna slowly convert my Facebook to my real estate shit.
Okay.
For Instagram, it's _Jboy, JBOI. I'm like I said last week, I got 2 projects that I'm working on musically. One with IQ and Intriago, and then I'm doing one for Ode to FM 78 from where I'm from.
Okay.
I'm gonna do a whole it's gonna be it's basically be a 45-minute documentary with music videos mixed into it with all artists from that area. So
okay, that's what's up. I think my cousin was actually in the making a East Side documentary.
yeah.
So I mean that's what's up, man. That'd be a good look for San Antonio because we ain't really got nothing, not like that, especially like in a good way. I think the only thing we really got is when DJ Quick was like San Antonio is just like Compton. So we don't need that. We need to let them know that we got some other stuff going on out here. So. Travis, man, you got anything? Y'all see you got your mouth guard today, right?
Yeah. And shout out to Impact Dental Designs and Dr. Andrew Sorowitz. Based out of Bronx, New York. They sponsor several top fighters in organizations, and they are the official sponsor to the Brooklyn Nets. So
okay.
So, but yeah, I got my me and Dr. Sorowitz, we've been kind of conversing, back and forth, probably about over a year, and then more regularly in the past couple months. So, I finally got my mouthpiece in today, and I love it. It was everything I was asking for. So, the boil and bite days are gone. So,
okay.
So, but what I got coming up tentatively. So as we were sitting there talking, while my mic kept going out, that was my coach. He was sending me dates.
Okay. So you got some fights coming up?
Yeah. So I got to pick a date.
Uh-oh. Yeah, we're gonna have to come out. We're gonna have to come out and show you some love, man.
Yeah, I gotta pick a date. So
is this like arena football or something, or what's it?
No, this is mixed martial arts.
Oh, really? Okay.
I'm down for that.
You trying to get some training in, AC, or what?
Yeah, hell yes. Hell yes.
Hit my info.
Can we do some Wing Chun?
Huh?
Can we do some Wing Chun?
If you trying to get kicked in the face,
If that's the way to learn.
Hard way to learn.
I put it to you like this.
I just let me record.
So my coach is Pete Spratt, combat sports legend from kickboxing, Muay Thai, the MMA, all of that. Fought in the UFC, World Combat League when Chuck Norris was running it. He's fought all over the world, and he still gets he spars with us. He'll get down and spar with us. He just turned 50 in January. Rolling up on him, you wouldn't think that, man. You wouldn't think he's 50 the way the man moved. But I would tell you this.
Run up on him. Run up on him if you want to.
I've seen a lot of people come in and say, yeah, I want to fight. I want to do this. And then get to sparring.
No, I'm good.
I don't even know where these people at no more.
Took them off the map.
So they never came back. So, and then the ones that did take that ass whipping,
they part of the crew.
Are you one of them? I was gonna say.
I'm only speaking from experience.
Yeah.
All right, well, AC, you're gonna have to get in touch, man, and I want to be there when this happens. Just FYI. I just want to be a spectator though. I ain't trying to get kicked in the face.
Nah, I mean it'll get to that. The sparring part gets to that. You feel
it happens, right? Just like with boxing, you bound to get the shit knocked out of you eventually.
Yeah, we
He having flashbacks. Look, y'all. PTSD.
His jaws kind of
twitching.
No, while y'all playing, for real. So my jaw is, and this wasn't even from Pete, my coach. It was from my teammate, RJ. I hate sparring RJ. I absolutely hate it.
Do y'all use face scars when y'all spar? Or?
Damn.
Nah.
Ooh.
And we spar with the little gloves, with the 4 ounces.
Okay.
Touch sparring. It's never really a
full on.
No, well, it's never really a touch situation when you sparring RJ. Or no, it's never really a touch situation. So
we're gonna link AC up with RJ and
It's like, hell no, you're not.
What would they say on Friday? No.
No. But it's a good. Basically, that's my you know what I'm saying? That's my team. You know what I mean? It's, you know, my first day in there like 4.5 years ago, it was a Thursday night, and Thursday night, so you know, it's in the class I went to was an advanced class, but it wasn't like it was supposed to be a certain setup of the class, but when I showed up, because I'm a good job. I feel like I do a good job of reading the room.
Yeah.
So like when as we were, you know, shadow boxing, you know, warming up and stuff, I started noticing that Pete was going toward the end of the room where the clock and his gear is at. So when I seen that, I was like, he gonna say we're gonna do some touch sparring. Didn't say it out loud, but I said to him, I'm like, yeah, I feel like this is about to be a show me what you got type of night. And as soon as the timer went off, he was like, all right. He looked around, shook his head a couple times, and right before he said what he said, and right before he said what he said, he looked at me and he was like, we're gonna do a little touch sparring.
That's that moment when you knew you fucked up.
I was like, yeah, this is because I knew I had this feeling that you know, I had this feeling like maybe he kind of saw, he had a feeling that I had a little something to me.
Yeah.
So he really and you know a little while later, you know, we had that conversation. He was like, yeah, because I wanted to see, you know, I want to see if you worth me putting effort into. And you know, I went with certain people, and he wanted to see how I handled myself. And not saying that, you know, I was perfect, but the way I handled myself and the way I was able to, you know, display what I knew in front of him.
Yeah.
That's what he was like. Yeah, you good, you straight. And now, like yeah, man, I'm that's. I know I got a little long with it or whatever, but that's my team.
I wanted to try training, but so in my life I had a few fights. I've only got beaten up. I got beat up before by the same person 2 times in the same fight. He was older than me, but I learned from that day I don't like losing in fights. So I just never do it. So
yeah, man.
But so before we sign off, we're supposed to be hooking up Mayzella on a date. So we still trying to we're gonna get back on that. We kind of got away from it, but apparently she ain't putting the living single. So you know we're gonna try to hook up with somebody. So if y'all know anybody that y'all think will be a good candidate, we're gonna try to pick 5 people. You know, do a blind date type of thing. So y'all know somebody, send them my way so we can, you know, do our citizen investigation on them. And yeah, you know, we're gonna go from there. But once again, man, I want to thank Radio After Podcast for coming on. J Boy as usual, T1 man, and my name is D. Shout out to Blue. She couldn't make it tonight, but you know, she still showing some love. Go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube page. Follow the Facebook page. Everything that we doing, we need y'all to follow. Those numbers count. Y'all might not think they do, but they count. People look at those numbers if they want to message you about it. So we need y'all to run those numbers up for us. So, but it's been Where You At Podcast, man. We signing off. See y'all next week. Deuce.
Peace.
Peace.